Hello and welcome to the WhyKnox podcast brought to you by Visit Knoxville. My name is Jody Collins of Feral Giant and I'll be your host on this journey. What we'll be doing is interviewing different folks around Knoxville that make Knoxville the great place it is to live. We'll have staples that you see around town all the time, but we'll also have some lesser known folks, people behind the scenes that make this a great city. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. And if you'd like to share the podcast on social media, be sure to tag us at Visit Knoxville and use the hashtag WhyKnox. Without much further ado, here's the episode.
I'm Eli Hechmer, the operations manager and co-owner at Lock and Key Productions.
Yeah, and I'm Andy Feliu. I'm the other owner, and it's a producer and director at Lock and Key Productions as well.
I think the term we use is bon vivant.
Okay.
That's not what we use. I'm just kidding. So are you both originally from Knoxville?
Grew up in a suburb outside Chicago called Barrington, and moved down here to go to UT, and never left.
And I'm from a small town about an hour and a half north of here, Sneedville, Tennessee.
Yeah. So you came for UT. What brought you here?
UT as well.
UT as well. What made you choose UT?
So I have family in Kingsport, Tennessee, and I would visit here a lot. And I went to one football game, and that was enough for me. And so I made my decision based solely on the one football game I attended and nothing else, nothing academic at all.
So that means it was a win. Thank
God.
Yeah,
I think we were playing Kentucky and it was a win.
Then it was probably a win.
Yeah. I didn't go to college last year or 2 years ago. We finally lost one of those. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Likewise, was always a huge UT sports fan. Growing up in East Tennessee, it always intrigued me to come down here and the glory years of UT football in the '90s. So,
what did your parents do for a living in Sneedville?
My dad worked in a factory in Morristown. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, also a craft. She was a basket maker, did a lot of craft fairs, and was very involved in the arts community. But
does she still do that?
Now she does lamp work, glass beads.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my mom up in Chicago area, she was a kindergarten teacher, and my stepdad worked at the Chicago Board of Trade selling futures, and then my dad in Kingsport owns a restaurant called Rush Street Neighborhood Grill, and my stepmom is a teacher as well, and my wife is a teacher, and my older sister is a teacher, and my younger sister is a teacher as well. So lots of teachers.
So for both of you at UT, did you study film there? What got you into film?
Majored in journalism, electronic media, with a emphasis in visual communication. It was just something that always seemed fun, seemed cool, seemed like an intriguing career path. It wasn't the one that I started in. I started in looking at computer science path, then kind of realized that the math wasn't something that I enjoyed that much, or the future job prospects, and started kind of soul searching a little about what I would actually enjoy as a career and a future, and decided to pursue broadcasting, TV, journalism.
Yeah, so as I explained, in my thorough research of the university, based around that one football game, I didn't really think about it all that much until I came down here and realized that there was like a film minor, and that was it. So I did the hotel restaurant administration route, which did not go well. I did not have a very successful freshman year at UT, and may have been asked to leave and had to go to ETSU and Pellissippi to fight my way back. But Then I switched over and did journalism, electronic media, visual track, and really enjoyed it and was doing something fun, and became less about school and more just messing around and creating stuff.
Okay. And so I'm not going to ask how old you all are, but when you started in that, was it still film or was it digital? It had kind of just started up, or like mini DV or something like that?
It was still mini DV. We started getting HD cameras and equipment towards the end of while I was there, but it was still mostly standard def mini DV.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still pretty salty about that because I remember it was maybe my senior year, near the end of my junior year, they got all the cool high def cameras, and when the best thing I got out of going to UT was the ability just to check out equipment and do projects, and
Right.
I can recall about 50 times of going to check out gear and then seeing those bags on the top shelf that we were not allowed to touch that had all the really good cameras in them, and never got to touch them the entire time I was at school. They just never really, cataloged them and put them into the system, and so I was aware of high definition. I had a high definition television, but I was never able to actually create anything with it until after I graduated from school. So, I'm a little salty about that. I apologize. I'm trying to keep it positive.
So you all are kind of known for covering music and festivals. Is that an honest assessment?
Yeah, I think most people think that about us. I
know you all do a lot more.
The music side of things is such a small part of our business, but the impact of those is always really big. We use a lot of resources. We spend a lot of time on those, and they're a lot of fun. I think those are a lot of our favorite projects to do, just because we like, we're avid music fans ourselves, and we love going to music festivals, and now to get to contribute to those and to make all kinds of content is really cool. But yeah, I think a lot of people think that's our that's what we do, but it is a very, very small part of it. It's just it's a lot more fun to share some of those videos, and it's a great thing for recruiting talent, and
Right.
and it's it's just fun stuff to be a part of. But we enjoy the other side of it every bit as much.
Yeah. I think we always, when we first started doing music festivals, we were, we're basically like, if we could just do this, then this would be the greatest job ever. Just
Right.
going to music festivals, covering music festivals. Then we realized that there's a lot more business that we need to generate than just music festivals, and that you can't. I mean, that's not really something that you can. It's a lot tougher to base an entire company around that, and we weren't doing solely music festivals at any point, I don't think, in our company history. But they are the most fun thing. It's something that we kind of set our schedules around for the rest of the year, because
Right.
they are such a big undertaking, and it takes a lot of planning and a lot of thought.
Yeah, and also too, in the earlier days, I mean, and this whole mentality's kind of changed across the board, where it used to be more about let's create a bunch of cool stuff, and then the realization of like, okay, well, we gotta, everyone wants to make cool videos and do photos at a music festival, but it's like, how do we help the festival generate revenue off of that?
Right.
How are we smart about it to where it's as effective as it is cool looking, and so a lot of what we learned from doing the festivals is stuff that's translated outside of that, and it is making sure that there's a purpose to everything you're doing. And if you really break down a lot of our recaps and stuff, there's a lot of really subtle things in there that are highlighting sponsors that are showing off, culture. Like there's a whole lot of thought that, that has kind of weaved its way in there. And so, we've definitely, they played a big part in us thinking differently when we approach, certain types of projects.
And I think that's now the most rewarding part of doing these festivals is at first it was just this, grandiose recap that we'd create afterwards, and be able to hang our hats on. And now it's being able to see that impact of being able to really help a Forecastle or a Bonnaroo, throughout the year market themselves and to be playing a big role in that marketing.
Yeah, there's hundreds of pieces of content we're putting out throughout the year. And so, where it used to be, hey, we're done with the festival, here's a recap, see you next year. Now that's the beginning of our off season, which is basically, 100, I think it was close to 200 pieces of content we delivered for Bonnaroo between the last two Bonnaroos. And that was just, so then this year, we did a lot more on-site stuff, a lot more like real-time social media, content and things like that. So that side of it's always been evolving. But it is, things have changed. It used to be something where, a longer form video would get the job done. And now it's more about having a ton of really, small bits of content that are, kind of fun and engaging, where you can keep people interested throughout the year. And, so we've had to again shift the way we think, and I think that's also this goes with everything we do. It's the evolution of where the market is, what people are interested in, who our audience is, what's happening with the technology and social media and all that stuff. So that keeps it fresh. It's not like we're just making the same video over and over again. And
right.
So that's I think that's also kind of really kept us interested in feeling the need to keep getting better and smarter.
Yeah, it's also a it's a good place for us to try out new techniques and new, styles and toys and gear. And, there's so much to capture and such a variety that while we may not want to use it on a big corporate gig untested, we can try it out at a festival. If it doesn't work out how we thought it was, no big loss.
So when did Lock and Key officially form? Like, how long have
2011.
2011. Okay. What were you all doing before that?
We worked at a company called Knox Ivy. That's where Eli and I met, and we learned a lot there. We met a lot of really great people, and we developed some great relationships. We learned a lot about what to not do as well, and a lot of philosophies that we kind of based our business around were based around things that we learned from our time there, whether it be positive or negative. But yeah, that was where we met anyway.
Okay. What made you choose this location? Your all's home base now is in North Knoxville along Central. What made you choose this location?
What made us choose this location was that it was, the closest building to downtown that we could purchase. And we went through a whirlwind year of trying to find any place. It's the Knoxville real estate market is so hot, and there's lots of great buildings that you can lease and that they'll do build outs for you and stuff like that. But we wanted something that we were investing in. Right. And we really like this area, and we think it has a lot of promise, and we're really excited about some of our neighbors and some of our new neighbors. We had Steamboat come in next door, along with Elst Brewery, which we're really, really excited about. We actually hung out with a bunch of those guys a couple weeks ago and tried many of their beers, which have all been pretty delicious. And so we're happy with our home here. But yes, like if this office could be in Happy Holler or, closer to downtown, that would have been great too. But I think we saw a lot of promise in the area, and I think there's a lot of really great stuff here already. And so now it's kind of we want to help do our part to help improve the area, and
Yeah, we were really looking for a place that we wanted a place that was in a historic district, at least, if not an actual historic building. This building, I think, was built in 1942. Used to be the Tennessee Roofing Company, and also in a creative community. And I mean, I think that's something that this part of Central is definitely becoming. It's pretty quickly developing, and there's a lot of cool startups happening here, a lot of creatives moving down here, and I think it's just we're gonna keep seeing that change, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and it's a good future for North Central, I think.
What are some of your favorite? You mentioned Steamboat, so what are some of your favorite things to do around town, like restaurants or pretty much anything? Beer.
There's a lot of great breweries. I know we are both big fans of Crafty Bastard, and really like a lot of the beers that Elkmont Exchange has been putting out as well. And Abridged is really great. I don't know. There's a lot of really good places. I know we're also big fans of Kaizen, and looking forward to checking out Jesse's new place.
Yeah, I feel like Suttery's just became a real go-to as well.
Yeah, and it's just there's so many cool new spots popping up all the time, and I love it when my family comes to town, and always have no shortage of great restaurants to take them to, and it's I think there's a lot of really impressive businesses that have popped up over the past 5-10 years, and
I feel like it's getting to the point where Knoxville is getting so many like new great restaurants, breweries, etc., that it's hard to even go experience them all. I mean, and there's still places that I've yet to check out that I'm just like, how have I not made it down there yet? And then a new place like Taco Taco opens up, and it's like, all right, well, now I got to go there first because it sounds amazing.
No, you have kids?
Yeah, 2 kids.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
Do you all take them to parks? Are such a big thing here? Do you all get out and play?
Yeah, I mean, I love to get out to IMS when I can, and definitely that's kind of the go-to. I live in Dandridge, so don't make it down here as often as I like to on the weekends. End up with projects around home and other busy things, but yeah, definitely try to make it down to IMS as much as I can.
Yeah, I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and we are members at the zoo. That's one of our favorite places. We love going to the Muse as well. But we'll go down to World's Fair Park, the Fort Kidd. My kids call it the Ball. Like, we'll go to the Sun Sphere. So that's always a nice little destination there. But and IMS is always going for hikes, and go out to Navitat's really cool out there as well. So I don't know, there's a lot of great places, and we definitely try and get the kids out of the house as much as possible, and they are big fans of lots of the parks are around town.
So with you all being in a kind of emerging area, what do you all think kind of the future holds for Knoxville? I know that's a big question.
That's tough. I had always kind of said, I just assumed that when I graduated from UT, I'd move back to Chicago, and it was that was always kind of the plan, and now it just seeing that growth, and I think there's just I'm pretty much at the point now where I think within like a year or so of living in Knoxville as long as I've lived in Barrington, and so you know, I feel like I've kind of gotten caught up in that sort of hometown pride, you know, and you know, Knoxville is home, and you know, it's just been really, really impressive to see the growth, and you know, it's just such a cool community to be a part of. You know, I mean, it's kind of like you know, we sort of say with, you know, the music stuff, it's like, you know, I never really not a musician and was always so into it, but you know, getting to contribute in some way. And so I think that's kind of a big thing for us here, is that, you know, to get to play some small part in, you know, the growth of Knoxville, and you know, some of that is, you know, that we've created a bunch of jobs here, but even more so, it's helping local companies tell their stories through video, and you know, so that's, you know, that's been really cool as well. But you know, it's been very impressive, and I think we're really excited to play a part of it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we keep seeing this this continued growth of downtown and the maker community, the creative community. You know, everywhere I travel to that you know, similar size towns as Knoxville, I'm always trying to compare it to Knoxville, and so many times I come away thinking Knoxville's got them beat. Like, Knoxville has so much going for it right now, just as far as the overall, not just what there is to do, but the people and just the overall vibe that you get from Knoxville. You know, the downtown. I mean, I just was out in Boulder a couple months ago, and you know, I'd heard that, you know, Boulder or Knoxville's comparable to Boulder, and like the Boulder of the East. I mean, Boulder had some great things going for it, but I left saying they don't have anything on Knoxville. Knoxville's a very, very cool town that just keeps getting better every day, and I think it's going to continue that path.
Awesome. So where can people find out more about you all or follow you on social media?
Facebook and Instagram, just Lock and Key Productions.
And that's LOCH.
That's LOCH. Our mascot is the Loch Ness Monster. So, but yeah, we're pretty active on there, and you know, we were kind of talking earlier. I was talking with Kat about our you know, our social media stuff and just some of our plans, and it's just, you know, sometimes it's almost overwhelming because we do have a wealth of cool stuff to share, and you know, and you know, so we do stay pretty active on there. It's a lot easier to stay up with that than it is a website, but we do have a new website we've been working on for quite some time, and we finally brought in some professional help, and just because we realized it would never happen, but so we'll have a new site up pretty soon as well.
Okay. Well, thank you all for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.